The movie opens with a guy who has no head but is holding a gun in his hand. Well, welcome to America. Some giant spaceships lands in the desert, and a dude is looking at them through his telescope or binoculars, whatever. I seriously don't know what they are. Sitting beside him is our girl Zendaya, looking angry. Maybe it's one of those days. No, wait. She's actually angry at these people called the Harkonnens, who have taken control of their planet, Arrakis, led by the animal Bautista. Is it just me, or does this guy actually look like a circumcised? So the Harkonnens are ruling their planet, and that's why Zendaya or Chani and her people are angry. They fight back but lose. But one day, our literal head friend Rabban and the other Harkonnens decide to leave the planet for some unknown reason, which makes Chani very happy. Cut to our main guy, Timothée Chalamet. His character's name is Paul, by the way, but I'm going to call him Timu the whole time, because Paul is boring as no offense to all the Pauls out there. So Timu is sitting beside his mother, Lady Jessica. Yeah, that's her real name in the movie. Can you imagine naming your kid Lady? Timu is having pancakes and bacon when she suddenly starts talking to him, which makes Timu go like, "Let me have my pancakes in peace." Then she asks him, "Are you having any dreams?" "Oh, lady, you seriously don't want to know the kind of dreams a 20-year-old guy is having." Apparently, he's been having Japanese dreams these days. Then Timu is like, "I want a Barbie doll," but Lady's like, "Nah, dude, that's too girly." And Timu goes, "What about a silicone Barbie?" Then Timu starts doing some research on the natives people living in Arrakis who are called Freemans. They're always being attacked by bad guys like the Harkonnens for paprika, since Arrakis is the only planet that has paprika. And people can do a lot of cool shit using it, like interstellar travel and adding more flavor to buffalo wings. What the does interstellar travel mean? Traveling between different stars. Hey, don't blame me for not knowing it. Blame the American education system. Also, consuming paprika daily makes Freeman's eyes blue. Or maybe they've just been hitting a little too hard. Who knows? Hey, Taylor Swift has blue eyes too. Maybe she's also a Freeman, but there's no way this rich could survive the desert. Later, Timu, his father Duke, and a bunch of other people, all dressed up, wait for a giant ass egg to land on their planet, Atreides. And out of it comes some Asian dudes, a low-budget Black Panther, and a woman wearing a mosquito net. Black Panther dude pulls out an Android phone from his pocket and informs Timu's father, Duke, that the Emperor of the Universe has chosen him to take control of the Arrakis planet. Duke accepts the offer. Then Duke does some arts and crafts, and the Black Panther confirms him as the new ruler of Arrakis. Later, Aquaman arrives after visiting Arrakis, and Timu tells him he's been having dreams about the Fremen, particularly Zendaya. Y'all relax, dude. We all have dreams about Zendaya every now and then. So Aquaman's like, "Dude, that's normal." But then Timu says he also saw him in his dream, which scares the out of Aquaman, thinking Timu just came out of the closet. Then Timu says he saw him dead in the dream, which scared the rest of the constipated out of Aquaman, but he plays it cool and tells Timu not to worry about it. Timu then asks Duke for permission to go to Arrakis tomorrow with Aquaman, but Duke says, "Shut the up and stay with your mother, you." Anyone else notice Timu kind of looks like that Natalie girl from Stranger Things? Whatever. Later, Gurney, the weapon master, starts throwing blades at Timu, telling him to always be prepared. Timu activates a sci-fi shield thing on his wrist, which can protect them for a few seconds from enemy attacks. Then Timu starts sparring with Gurney as training. Gurney tells him he needs to understand their world is about to change, because for the past 10 years, the Harkonnens have been ruling Arrakis, and now the Emperor has taken control from them and handed it to Duke just to make House Harkonnens and House Atreides fight to the death. But Timu's like, "I got it. You don't have to spit on my face to make me understand." Then we cut to Guidey Prime. Logan Paul launched a new Prime? No, wait. It's actually the place where the Harkonnens live. Inside the giant ass palace, Rabban is having a meltdown because the Emperor gave Arrakis to Duke, but his uncle Brolin tells him to stop crying like a little since he knows the Emperor is a sucking and wants them to kill the Atreides and take Arrakis back. What's up with bald dudes always playing villains in movies and all over the internet? At night, Lady wakes up Timu as some turtleneck Pro Maxes show up at House Atreides in the shade of night to talk to him. Then Lady tells him that the Reverend Mother is here to see him. She's the Emperor's truth-sayer, whatever the that means, and Lady's childhood teacher who taught her witchcraft and shit. Before sending him in, a doctor checks Timu's vitals just by touching his forehead. Dr. Johnny over here. As they walk toward the room where the Reverend Mother is sitting, Lady tells Timu to remember his training. Wait a minute, both of you can speak and hear perfectly. What the is the point of using sign language, you stupid Timu walks in and finds the Reverend waiting for him. She uses her witchcraft bullshit to pull Timu in front of her, then tells him to put his hand in a box while she holds a poisonous needle to his neck, saying if he pulls it out, he dies. This is exactly what my wife did to me when I was about to pull out my meat, but instead of a needle, she had a gun. Just kidding. I'm single. The only thing I've committed to is paying off my student loans. Timu starts feeling unbearable pain in his hand. Meanwhile, lady outside starts getting random then another one right after. I thought that was just a myth. Timu somehow endures the pain while getting visions of himself on Arrakis, so the Reverend lets him go. Later, the scolds Lady because their up school doesn't allow teaching witchcraft shit to boys, but Lady believes Timu is different and that they need his powers for the battles ahead. And then, yep, she gets another. Timu overhears their conversation, so Lady tells him that she believes he is the one who's going to save their world from evil. But Timu's like, that's Keanu Reeves. The next day, Timu and family pack up their shit and move to Arrakis, where the locals start chanting Lisan al-Gaib. They somehow also believe Timu is going to be their savior. Then they hop into a dragonfly helicopter thing to take a look at the city from above. It's called a necklace, not a faceless. Take it off your damn face. Then they fly over the city. Arrakis, my ass. This looks like the Colorado desert to me. Later, Lady lines up some locals and stops one of them, suspecting she's a Fremen. Then the Fremen chick asks her if she is the one. Lady responds by airdropping her or to the Fremen chick. This movie has more fake or than my dad's secret hard drive. Then she hands her the sword thing she was carrying, recognizing Lady as the mother of the one. Meanwhile, Timu is doing some more research on the Fremen when a dronefly thing with a poisonous needle makes a hole in the door and flies in to kill him, but he hides in the holograms and manages to destroy it. The security is informed and they find and kill the man who was controlling the drone. He had been hiding inside the walls before Timu's family even arrived. How the do you hide inside the walls? I can't even fit a nail in mine without it popping out the other side. Meanwhile, in Gaidi Prime, the Reverend visits Boron to do some dirty political work for the Emperor. She says the Emperor is ready to give his army to the Harkonnens to kill and defeat the Atreides and take back Arrakis. But she wants one promise first, that Boron won't harm Lady and Timu, as they're part of her witchcraft squad, or Boron agrees. But as soon as she leaves, he turns to his guy and says she can suck his because he's not sparing anyone. Then he gets a record-length. I think he is really into grandmas. Okay, wait a minute. This bald dude getting long adds absolutely nothing to the story. You're already an ugly bald villain, dude. Your getting long moment is in the movie just so that we get dumbass like me can make fun of it. And to honor the producers of this masterpiece, I'm gonna do it a few more times. Someone call the castle architect. We've got a new tower. I hope the royal guards are ready for a new kind of defense. Boron just went from your highness to your hardness. The next day in Arrakis, Aquaman comes back after spending a few days with the Fremen and brings back their leader, Stilgar, to talk to Duke. As Stilgar walks into the room, the spits on the table. I swear to God, the Chipotle near my home does the same thing before they serve food. Seeing this, Duke and Aquaman also spit on the table to show their respect for the desert.
You gotta give him that hawk too and spit on that thing.
Stilgar tells Duke they can do whatever the they want with the paprika in the desert, but warns them to stay the hell away from the underground homes called Sietches. Then he gives Timu a look like he knows exactly who the kid is, and leaves. Later, Timu and the others head out to see paprika harvesting in the desert. But before that, a Fremen chick inspects their special suits, which allow the sweat coming out of their body to get collected in a container, filtered, and turned into fresh water they can drink through a pipe in the mask. That's disgusting. I'd rather die 7 times than drink my own filtered armpit juice. They fly out to the desert and see a giant ass machine separating and collecting paprika from the sand. Suddenly, the Freeman chick guiding them notices something approaching in the distance and warns the harvester crew, but those are chill as hell, like they just got back from a pharmacy in California. Then they try to pull the machine up using a small drone chopper, whatever the that is, but one of its strings snaps. Since when did Boeing start making and f***ing up drone lifters too? Duke, being the king he is, decides to save the crew and lands their dragonfly chopper. Meanwhile, as soon as Timu styles the paprika in the air, the gets high and forgets that death is literally coming for them. He starts filming a TikTok or something. Gurney sees this nonsense, yells, and yanks the fool back, then tries to return. They manage to jump into the dragonfly chopper just in time to save their lives, and witness a giant sandworm was about to swallow them whole. Okay, from this angle, that worm looks like a super zoomed version of something that definitely shouldn't be shown in a PG-13 movie. But here it is anyway. Later, the doctor checks Timu again and says he's fine, but Timu's not buying it. He says every time the paprika in the desert touches him, he starts having crystal clear visions of a Fremen girl, Chani. But just as they kiss in the vision, she straight up front stabs him and watches him die. Then Timu tells Lady he saw something else, that she's pregnant. Lady's like, WTF, how do you know that? Let me tell you, this sneak was standing outside her room when she was getting by Duke and Doggy and now he's trying to pass it off like he's got future seeing powers. Bullshit. Later, while Lady is explaining to Duke what kind of role play she's planning for tonight, the doctor walks into Timu's room to give him medicine. I don't know, I just don't trust this for some reason. Sometime later, someone kills all the guards outside Duke's room. When Duke wakes up and sees this, someone shoots a poisonous needle into his back. His shield saves him for a few seconds, but eventually the needle gets through and knocks him out. And surprise, it's the doctor who did it. I knew it. This is backstabbing Zuckerberg. Meanwhile, the Harkonnens launch a full-blown assault, blowing up everything in sight. Gurney and the other soldiers try to fight back, but they're hopelessly outnumbered. Inside, and the doctor tells Duke he's sorry for betraying him, but says he had no choice. Boron kidnapped his wife and blackmailed him. Before dragging Duke to Boron, the pulls out a special tooth from a box and tries to shove it into Duke's mouth. The man is literally dying, and this clown thinks it's time for dental work. American healthcare system, always finds a way to bankrupt you, even on your deathbed. Outside, it's total chaos. Timu is out cold like the losing team after a Super Bowl party. Aquaman fights off some Harkonnens and rushes to check on Timu, but it's too late. Timu and Lady have already been abducted, and this is still asleep. Can you believe this shit? Mid-flight, Lady starts making dirty hand gestures at Timu. Bitch, behave. That's your own son, not a damn stepson. As the Harkonnens prepare to dump them in the desert to die, Timu taps into his magic mind powers and commands the guards to release his mother. Okay, fine, that's what she was trying to tell him. My bad. They kill all the Harkonnens on board, land the dragonfly, and hide in the sand dunes to survive. Meanwhile, Duke has been taken to Gedi Prime and strapped naked to a chair. I don't know why. Maybe it's some weird Harkonnen BDSM fantasy. Then the doctor shows up and asks Boron to give his wife back, but we all know how this is about to go down. This long kills the doctor on the spot. As Boron starts talking to Duke, Duke bites down on the special tooth the doctor gave him and releases poisonous gas from his mouth, killing every bitch in the room. Somehow Boron and his giant survive. Inside their tent, Timu starts sniffing the paprika in the air and goes full visionary mode again. This time, crystal clear. He sees himself and Chani fighting as Fremen warriors against enemies. He's even got that blue spice eye thing going on now. Then Timu has a full-blown panic attack and yells at Lady for teaching him all this witchcraft bullshit and turning him into a freak. After a while, they crawl out of their sand-covered rabbit hole. How the did they build a whole ass tent under the sand? Whatever. Aquaman manages to find them with help from the Fremen woman Timu met earlier. She takes them to a secret Fremen hideout where the group is discussing their next move, and then this orders a Fremen to make coffee. And they make the coffee using their spit. This is more disgusting than my hand after a midnight solo session. If you don't have enough water, stop making coffee, you nasty. No one wants espresso with a splash of your saliva, you stupid. Meanwhile, the Harkonnens, or whoever they are, I don't know, sniff their way to the secret meeting point and enter the underground facility. Then Aquaman finds the perfect opportunity to show his skills and decides to play the hero by fighting the Harkonnens alone. Could have easily escaped with Timu and the others, but nah, dude, you don't have to play the hero all the time. This kind of behavior got this killed in the first season of Game of Thrones. So Aquaman fights the Harkonnens while Timu and the others hide behind a locked door. The Harkonnens separate the Aqua from Aquaman, finally killing him, then try to cut through the giant ass door using a powerful laser. But our hero gets up again and distracts the Harkonnens before dying, which gives Timu and the team enough time to run away to the back door. There, the Fremen chick tells them to go to specific coordinates and find Stilgar and his group, while she goes in a different direction to go buy Twinkies because surviving the desert is exhausting. Meanwhile, Timu and Lady find their dragonfly chopper and prepare to get away from the place. How the does everyone in movies know how to fly a chopper? Meanwhile, I can't even pass my driving test because my examiner thinks turning the car without the blinker on is not right. What a stupid. I don't think it's that big of a deal. You just have to have faith in your fellow drivers. Unless an Asian woman is driving around you, then you're pretty much Anyway, in movies, just press some buttons and bang, the dragonfly spreads her legs. I mean wings, whatever. The Fremen chick that saved them pulls out a giant ass from her bag. My god, that's huge. If she rides that, then her pussies see more stretches than Tom Brady's retirement plan. Anyway, she drives the machine into the sand and waits for the sandworm to come to her because she wants to ride it. How much more can you take, bitch? But before she can, backstab her, stab her in the back, and she dies from death. No, wait, she's still alive. She just isn't feeling like dying alone today. So she thumps the sand to call the worm, and the worm swallows all of them alive. Meanwhile, the Harkonnens attack Timu's dragonfly and think they managed to kill them both. Rabban informs Brolin, who is taking a bath in soy sauce for some reason. Maybe some ancient Chinese healing techniques, whatever. Brolin then orders Rabban to kill all the Fremen and take the paprika harvesting back in their hands to make profits. But they don't know that Timu managed to survive the attack and crashes into a sand dune, coming out perfectly fine. The crash could have easily killed or at least injured these but I'll let it slide so we can get to the part where we see Zendaya again. They quickly change into their Fremen suits and head forward to find the Fremen. As they walk through the desert, they use some Broadway jazz moves to avoid attracting the sandworm, but after walking for a while, one of them f***s up the dance. I don't know which one. I'm not an expert. That mistake attracts the worm and it starts chasing them, but before it can devour them alive, some of the Fremen start thumping their asses off to draw the worm away, and it leaves Timu and the others alone. Stilgar and the other Fremen find them. Timu asks Stilgar for help, and Stilgar actually wants to help because he believes Timu is the one, but the others don't buy it. Stilgar doesn't want to kill Timu, so he tries to go after Lady instead, who whoops his ass in seconds, flexing her fighting skills. Meanwhile, Timu goes to higher ground with his gun. Stilgar agrees to take them to their secret hideouts, and Timu finally meets Chani, who had been watching them the whole time. As they prepare to leave, a Fremen stops them and says he wants to fight Timu. If Timu is really the one, he should be able to defend himself, otherwise he deserves to die. Don't do it, dude. You've been set up by the writers. Don't you watch movies? You don't challenge the main character unless you've got a death wish. And after a little fight choreography, Timu f***s up the dude. Told you so, bitch. Then Stilgar tells him he's one of them now, and Timu starts acting like the one. Why doesn't this dude have any mustache? Maybe side effects of Kylie Cosmetics. And then the movie ends on a happy note, letting us know this whole thing was just a setup for part 2. I like this one, but I'm not going to watch another Dune just to entertain you. Go f*** yourself, but Zendaya will be there, so I might watch it. Who knows?